In this problem, we're going to want to add color coding to our financial models so that it's easy both for us as well as the readers of our financial models to understand what are inputs, what are calculations, what are cells that refer to other cells, and lastly, what are check rows. As a refresher, we're going to want to make all of our inputs and assumptions in blue, all of our calculations in black, all cells that refer to another cell as purple, and finally, all of our check rows as red. Why don't you go ahead and pause this video and then meet me back here when you're ready to go over the solution. All right, and this should actually be a very simple exercise. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I am gonna click on Home. I'm gonna click Find on Select, and I'm gonna click Go to Special. Now, I want to see all of the constants. I don't really care if it's a text or a logical or an error. I really just wanna understand the numbers. So if I click OK, notice what happens over here. All of the cells that are actual hard-coded values get highlighted. So I could easily just come and now select blue with just one click. Now notice that we also have some information over here. So it really found even the collapsed cells as such. And in this case, you'll notice that I put payroll tax and health insurance from earlier as a percentage. I'm gonna probably change that soon, but I'm pretty happy with how all this other information updated as such. So now we have at least the blue sections. I'm just gonna collapse this here. And let's just continue by selecting this. I'll hit Alt-HVR. Okay, so now we have the blue. The black is gonna by default just stay for all the values that we want to showcase as a sum or a calculation. But we're not quite done. I want to now reference the other calculations that we're going to showcase if it pulls from a different cell. So in this case, the checking account is pulling directly from the cash flows. And I want the readers of my financial model to understand that. So I'm just going to select this over here, and I am going to select purple. Now, as I mentioned earlier, some people refer to this as a green. It really depends on how you have your financial model structured and what your preference is. But I'm gonna do the same thing, accumulated depreciation. It technically is a calculation that also refers to something else, so maybe I'll just keep that as such. Now, net income over here also just pulls directly from the net income on my profit and loss. So I'm gonna select this here, and I'm going to go ahead and make that purple. Okay, so now we have the blue, we have the black, and we have the purple. The last thing is just our check rows. So for that, let's just hit the 2 to expand this. And I am going to select all of these values here, and I'm going to click this red as such. Perfect. So if I just change this, for example, to 50,000, you'll see that all of these red scary errors scream at me. So I'm just going to do the same thing for the balance sheet where we also have an error check. I actually already made that as red, I should say. So we should really be all set. And now our color coding is complete.